upcoming sophomore at Whitney Young and I'm a part of the Peacemakers Project Hood 2 program. As Peacemakers, our theme is doing something good in the hood. For our final project, we are giving away 50 bags to 2 wonderful organizations. Through Project 2, I am given the opportunity to give back to the people who gave to me. As a team, we hope this project leaves a legacy that can be continued in the future.
Hey everyone, my name is Nathaniel Avraham. I'm 28 years old and I live in Ramle. In the last year, I had the opportunity to take part in Appleseed's first software development bootcamp, which is a challenging and an amazing program that helped me grow, develop myself, and start my new career. And since then, I've been working as a software developer at HiredScore, an amazing company in the field of HR tech that uses AI to make the world of recruitment more data-driven, efficient, and fair, and I really enjoy every moment. I have no doubt that I succeeded thanks to the opportunity that Appleseeds gave me, and I'm very proud being part of this organization that actually changed my life.
We recently held the 34-year-old divorced mom who lost her job and her health insurance as a result of the pandemic. In April, she called the ARC when her bills began piling up. We gave her groceries, rent assistance, and helped her sign up for Medicaid. She met with our employment counselor and is doing much better now that she found a part-time job. We at the ARC are always there to help during any time of crisis.
My name is Jesse. I've worked for Casey's for 16 years. Aspire helped me a lot, and Aspire asked me to come back to be a peer coach to help others to get jobs. Thank you so much.
This has been an incredible challenge, an incredible journey. I learned so many things about myself that I didn't know I had within me.
Thank you, Made of New York. Thank you, BWI. You guys have been a freaking backbone. Like, I never had this support ever in my life. So thank you, Cycle 60.
A lot of strength I haven't seen myself, and you guys just make me see those things, and I'm really grateful for that.
During this crisis that we're currently facing, the intervention team continues to work extremely hard in staying connected with our young people.
Good morning, it's Terrence here, Intervention Specialist for Austin Community at Bill. I just want to step in real quick just to give some words of encouragement.
We're staying connected via phone calls, text messages, Google Hangouts, Dual, and we're also holding life skills and educational workshops via Zoom.
Hi, I'm Sana Juanita Lynn, and I am from the April 2019 class with Kara. My biggest accomplishment was that I actually received employment with the Union League Club of Chicago. It was very exciting for me coming from a place of hardship, but by me being able to just stay focused and trust in the process that Kara taught me, I was able to maintain that job, get it within 2 interviews, and I've been on that job for a year.
Jennings. I'm Drive graduate of class 245. Wow, what an organization. In times like this, an organization that really does what the mission statement says it's going to do, hands down, CFUF has done that. I was blessed with Vehicle for Change, which I received a beautiful vehicle. Things got tough with bills, trying to maintain my stability. They were there to support me with that as well during the pandemic. I signed my son up. He's graduating next week. I look forward to the next 5 years with CFUF.
Hi, this is Lauren Shavitz from HANA. While our clients are truly suffering during this time, there is also some beauty. One client in particular comes to mind. For the first time in 40 years, she has the freedom to make her own decisions, and for the very first time is singing in her kitchen as she prepares her meals, is able to communicate with her friends whenever she chooses, and for the first time in her life has registered to vote. She can do all of this without fear of violent consequences. These are the stories that give us hope.
Early on, we made a commitment that no family would go hungry at Compass. As I'm sure you know, in COVID times, everything is more difficult. Renting vehicles to transport food, deploying staff several times a week to the food bank and to local supermarkets. Change has pretty much been the only constant. Change and putting families first.
Hi, I'm Kaveni Ibarra with Malama Aina Foundation. Since my program started, we were able to teach kids at a summer fun program. We had 2 programs, one in the town of Naalehu and one in the town of Pahala. In addition to that, we've also been working closely with the school and assessing their needs. And now we're about to host a virtual STEM camp over the fall break for middle school age kids. And we're going to do STEM activities with them over Zoom. We're also preparing a learning pod for after fall break, in which we'll have a space that's available for kids, and they can come in and get tutoring and access to Wi-Fi for them to do their schoolwork.
שלום, אני רפאלה, אני דיירת פה בהוסטל בכפר סבא כבר 3 שנים. אני מתמודדת עם סכיזופרניה, אך מאוד מאוד פעילה, כמו כן נגיד בעבודה שלי. עכשיו זו תקופה קצת קשה, בגלל הקורונה, אנחנו בלי המשפחות, וצריך איכשהו להתמודד עם החיים, ואני חושבת שאנחנו עושים את זה בצורה מופלאה פה בהוסטל. אז תודה לכם צוות מדריכים יקר, ותודה לעמותת אנוש.
Aloha from the family promise of Hawaii team. Nonprofit work is hard. This moment has certainly not made it easier.
Those on the front lines may feel overwhelmed and burnt out. But when we remember the why, the mission behind the work, our energy is renewed.
The feeling of helping a family transition from homelessness to housing. The feeling of supporting one another during such a tough time keeps us sustained. This time has made it clearer than ever that nonprofits get it done.
Clients need us, and they need us more than they ever have before.
Welcome to ACH. We've been opening every day, all day.
Putting safety first.
Continuing care and offering COVID testing.
And finding bright spots along the way.
past several months throughout this pandemic, we've jumped into action like never before. We've delivered over 400,000 meals. We've answered over 1,000 calls to our helpline for families and individuals that need support. We've placed over 7,000 calls to our seniors and most vulnerable, and we've distributed hundreds of thousands of dollars in emergency cash assistance.
Because of you, we've been able to mobilize quickly in our community. I'm reminded of John and his son, where we've been able to help those in the COVID-19 pandemic shelter in place in a partnership with Holiday Inn Express, where they felt safe, where they were able to get back on their feet. And at the end, they were able to move into housing in our community.
She's been checking up on me because she said that I'm one of many people that care about her, and she knows that I do, and then she cares about me as well.
I do my random checks with my family, right? Hey, how's everybody doing? And I always include Eurydice as part of my rounds. I consider her another member of my family, and it's important to me to know how she's doing, and just making sure that I continue to touch base with her through the iMentor app. I get a notification when she responds back, and I am very excited to see how she's coming along during this time.
"2020 has been the year of adaptability. It has tested our resolve and our resilience, both individually and as nonprofits, to pull together to continue to serve our valuable missions despite COVID. We are forever grateful to our partners, funders, and the community who've stepped in and stepped up in heroic efforts to make the impossible possible. 2020, we learned the strength of all of us together.
Hey, my name is Abraham Shaw. I am 38 years old, and I am blessed to be married with 7 children. Bezrat Hashem, I am going to work for the first day in my life after Sukkot. I will now have a career as a software developer, and I will be able to support my wonderful family.
Juma operates businesses and sports venues with the purpose of employing young people. This spring, as we begin to get word of stadiums closing, our immediate thoughts were with our young people. In response, our team sprang into action and quickly figured out how to support our youth during this very challenging time. The pandemic has reinforced what we've known throughout our history. The Juma youth are strong and resilient. Today, we're excited to share that 98% of youth are engaged in Juma's virtual programming, learning the skills that will allow them to join the workforce when it is safe to do so.
There was a time in Hawaii when our umeke or calabash were full. We knew our communities were also abundant with strong relationships, knowledge, and resources. It's time to return to those practices that fill our calabash once again, so we all have enough to eat now and into the future. The fund will support Hawaii's community-based organizations that are purchasing food from local farmers, ranchers, and food producers, and that are providing that food to community members in need. Let's keep Hawaii farmers farming, ranchers ranching, and fishers fishing so they can continue feeding all our communities good, fresh, local food.
We are many islanders from one ocean. Even though coronavirus has changed our way of life,
we will survive and thrive by taking care of each other.
we rise to keep our community safe.
It's our turn.
Ye Arfanson. Wo oy latato taimi.
Tayo naman ang kakalinga.
Kokako Manawa.
It's our turn to take care of our elders like they took care of us.
It's our turn
To protect the storytellers.
To protect our culture.
and to protect our community.
I was able to go back to school. I have been able to obtain full-time employment, and I am also doing a pageant in a couple of weeks. And these are all things that I was able to discover about myself because of Larkin Street, because they gave me a place to stay and they helped me achieve some of the goals that I felt were not attainable because I was homeless.
Food insecurity is a real thing. We do not have a grocery store in walking distance here. Access to food and quality food, fresh fruit, produce is in demand. We wanted to step up with the Maryland Food Bank to meet the need of our families. But it's not just here. We know that there are food sites that Maryland Food Bank is servicing all over the city and all over the state. And I have to say, it is one of the best investments I think you could make at this really tough time.
You know, this year has been a challenge for us all. But in the midst of those challenges, we've seen some pretty amazing things happening too. We were able to launch a Care Calls program this year, which connected volunteers to isolated seniors in our neighborhoods. These volunteers made over 700 calls over the course of the last couple of months just to check in on the seniors in our neighborhoods, make sure they had everything they need, and that they were still engaged in the community.
Ministry. Because of the COVID-19 pandemic, we faced many challenges throughout our programs, but have continued to serve our community members who struggle with homelessness and poverty. We are so glad that despite these challenging times, the Crib Overnight Emergency Shelter was able to move into our new space at 1735 North Ashland Avenue.
It was tough because I lost my job through the pandemic, and I was trying to do this program to try to make a better name for myself, get my foundation started to start my career. The biggest thing about all of this is that I am so much happier where I am now as opposed to a year ago.
Happy birthday to Paulson. Happy birthday to you.
Throughout the pandemic, SAGE made sure LGBT elders came first through welcoming housing, food security, and new virtual programs. SAGE Connect brings together LGBT elders and volunteers for weekly phone calls. And we celebrated Pride in Place by honoring Black LGBT pioneers and our community. These efforts, along with our national advocacy and housing work and hundreds of weekly online programs, continue to prove that LGBT elders are resilient and refuse to be invisible.
We're in the city of Lod, and this family here, the roof was all crumbling and broken, and the ceiling was all wet, and every winter they had water leaking onto their bedroom and on our bed.
אני רוצה להודות לכם, בשמי ובשם ההורים שלי. ההורים יוכלו לחיות בכבוד בשארית חייהם, בבית ראוי עם גג ראוי כמו שאתם רואים. הגג היה באמת כל חורף נזילות, דליפות, הכל היה ממש בעייתי. תודה גם כמובן לעמותה ולכל העובדים על התרומה בעבודה המסורה.
Last January, the staff at Valley Youth House met a young mom and her 5-year-old son who were living in an emergency shelter in Scranton to escape an abusive relationship. They'd been in the shelter for over a month, they had nowhere to go, and they were running out of time. And Valley Youth House was able to offer this young mom her own apartment, help her get a job, help her get a car, and get her son into quality daycare. The life trajectory for this mom and her son have changed forever.
Hi, I just want to share a recent success that we had here at Waimanalo Health Center. So we've been working with a patient who was homeless, sleeping at bus stops or public bathrooms, hopeless, depressed, history of heart attack and stroke, and just really vulnerable to COVID-19. After several months of working with him and with the help of other community organizations, we were finally able to give him a place to stay. And so experiences like this really remind me that with working together and having a passion and commitment to serve, incredible life-changing things can happen.
Oohing and eyeing. It was so mysterious, all filled with wonderful things. Stars, planets.
How cool was that?
We're going to learn 4 tap steps today.